I'm here with Ben Underwood, 5 p.m. pastor at St Matthews Shenton Park and also Geneva coach. Can you tell us, what are you learning in the coaching that you're doing of church planners here in Perth?
Well, I'm coaching a fellow called Alka Rienstra, who is here with his wife Grace. Actually, he's Dutch, he's from Holland, and he's come all the way to Perth to plant a church, which is fantastic. Grace, his wife, grew up in Perth, and so she's more or less a local, although she has been living in Holland. Anyway, that's been a fantastic experience, I think, for both him and me. We meet 3 weekly, and we basically will talk about what is going on for him. I don't give him a lot of reading to do, but my role is to draw out of him the challenges that he's facing and help him think through how he's going to deal with them. So I've been very helped in that, actually, by going to the Geneva Coaches Conference a couple of years back, and some of the tools I got there have just been perennially useful. The GROW model of coaching, where you think about what are your goals that you want to reach, what's the reality that you face now, what options do you have to address that reality, and then wrapping up by deciding what will you do. So that's been very helpful. But actually, just lately, with the church plant up and running, things have become a little more complex. There's more going on. In the planning stages, there was probably one big thing to talk about each time we met, but now, with more people and more in the mix, we're using a slightly different approach that talks about what's gone well, what are the highs, what's gone not so well, what are the lows, what are the emerging issues that are coming to you that you need to address, what are the priorities that you want to get. So in the future, what are you on the back foot about and need to address, or what do you want to go on the front foot about? Just very simple templates for discussions I've found are the really great thing for coaching. And then we have a to-do list with dates and people and all that kind of thing, and we check in on all that.
Can you tell us what are the challenges that you think Alka's going to face as he prepares to publicly launch in the next few weeks?
Well, there's a burden of organisation with things like that. He's had a weekend away for his core team, and he's had to find a venue and figure out how they're going to put on their Sunday meeting. They've had to find musicians and all that kind of thing. So that's just a lot of, legwork, I guess, But there's also, of course, always you've got people coming and dealing with the dynamic that they bring, who is strong and who can be given responsibility, who is not a good fit, and there's going to be problems perhaps emerging down the track and they need to be addressed early, who can be asked to do significant jobs into the future, but that just need care and thought now as they're setting up those basic responsibilities and structures, as well as cultivating all the contacts they have with non-Christians and thinking about how best to start bringing them from, a friendly game of soccer to sitting down and reading the Bible.